Hey, it's Charles the Redneck Nerd coming at you with another wonderful episode of knives and probably some crap you didn't want to know. First, for the first time in 3 years and 11 days, I am no longer wearing what I called Das Boot, the walking boot. During that time, I had 2 surgeries to sever ligaments to try and make my foot hit the right spot because I developed an open wound on the bottom of my foot that went all the way to the bone and was infected because the way my foot lands, and I never knew it because I have severe neuropathy in my legs. I can't feel anything from the knee down. So I haven't been able to get outside and actually do anything for 3 years. This Wednesday, they took me out of the boot. I can now wear regular shoes. I can do everything. My foot can get wet without worrying about changing the bandage on it immediately. Downside is because of the ligaments they cut, I'm going to be wearing one of these to prevent my foot from flopping around for the rest of my life. It's a good trade-off. That boot's heavy, and that is actually the second one. And I wore the first one out, and as you can see, this one is about to fall apart as well. Now, on to the good part of the review, the actual knife. Today, we are looking at the Condor operator Bowie. And I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this knife. On the one hand, I love it because while it's meant to be a fighting knife, it is surprisingly effective at trimming branches, hacking down small trees, preparing a fire, whatever you'd like. It has a 7.5-inch blade with about a 7.4-inch cutting edge because it has just a very small sharpening choil down there. 5-inch handle, so it's 12.5 inches overall, and you'll notice that the handle's got this weird looking shape. That's because it's meant to be held in a fencing or saber grip. If you're going to hold it like this, it just doesn't feel right unless you're wearing gloves. If you're wearing gloves, this absolutely feels awesome. The blade thickness is supposed to be 5 millimeters, and here at the tang, it is 5 millimeters. The blade itself, beyond the guard, is actually 4 millimeters. Has a stainless steel butt cap, stainless steel guard, black powder traction coating, very nice swedge. It is not sharpened, but it will wreck a baton. I found that out the hard way. The HRC on this is listed at, let me check my notes real quick, 55 to 57 HRC. It is 1075. It is made in El Salvador, and like I said, I have a love-hate relationship because while it feels awesome in this, again, it doesn't feel good like this unless you're wearing a glove. Put a very thin work glove on, this grip suddenly becomes very comfortable. Has 3 exposed holes where you can easily add a lanyard. I have not because I haven't had a problem even when chopping with grip. Another part of my love-hate relationship with this is the sheath. The sheath itself is Kydex. I love it. Clicks in place, holds good, easy thumb push, and it comes out. It's the attachment. Now what they have is basically like a ballistic nylon frog that goes around in 3 places and attaches with Velcro to the sheath. Now why, if you're marketing something as an operator buoy and fighting knife, you would have Velcro that can get stuck and make that horrible ripping sound while you're supposed to be sneaking around, I don't know. It is also MOLLE compatible. It will not take a tech lock. If they'd made this where it could take a tech lock or ulti clips, and I could make it ride higher on my belt or have it ride scout style or some other way, I would probably actually love the sheath. Since it didn't, and the only thing you have is this, and here's another thing that I don't really like about it. Unless you actually snap, the retention strap up here, the knife is going to, the weight of the handle will cause the knife to do that. Again, with utility clips or with a simple tech lock being able to be added to that, you could set it up where you didn't have that happening. The grind on this is interesting. It's supposed to be a full flat grind. Mine really isn't. It really doesn't have a secondary bevel. It is basically a convex grind on mine. And that I love. Because even though I've used this a lot, I've done nothing other than strop it to bring it back. And I was hacking down privet brush and all sorts of other stuff with this, and a simple strop that took less than 30 seconds brought it back to where this is phone book paper. It just easily rips it, slices it to nothing. We'll look at this leather belt. It's one of my old leather belts. It's a thick leather belt, and this thing cruises through it. And it is like 3 layers of leather. And with absolutely no effort, this thing goes through it. Now with my new release back out into the wild, this, what my wife calls a Sooner Sasquatch, is going to be out and about trying to trim back all the shrubbery, the crepe myrtles, and everything else that have taken over our yard in the 3 years I've had to hire somebody else to come in to mow it and weed eat it, because I said, hey, leave that stuff alone, thinking in a month or two I'll be back out doing it and I can go out there and play with these knives and hack crap down. I haven't been able to. So now I'm going to get to go out and have a lot of fun. And I will probably take out various of the knives. Some of them I may have already done reviews on, telling you about, and be posting shorts of them, and even 5 or 10 minutes worth of me just bashing the crap out of them, hacking down limbs, trees, whatever I need to get rid of that is encroached on my yard and over my fence. So, would I recommend this knife? Oh yeah, I would recommend it. Like I said, it's a love-hate. But the love for this knife for me far outweighs the more aggravating things about it. And now that I'm back up to where I can do stuff, I will come up with some way or make my own sheath so that this is no longer the deciding factor on whether I'm carrying and using a knife that just really feels great and works like a beaver on meth when it comes to processing wood, which for a 14-ounce knife shocked the living crap out of me. Part of it is I've always found blades 7 to 8 inches just about perfect. The 7.5-inch blade that splits the difference feels absolutely perfect in my hand. I can't really explain how it feels when I wield that knife, other than to say when you find a knife that just fits how you use something and it becomes an extension of you, you know it instantly. And it's something that even though you may hate aspects about the sheath or some other thing, the knife works so well, you love it more than you'll ever dislike it or hate the bad things. This is the Redneck Nerd saying I hope y'all enjoyed this. We will be back again soon. Be on the lookout for shorts with all of the knives you've seen before me working, and other shorts. And please like, comment, subscribe. Also, remember our buddies, Scab at Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, Joe, Steel Forged in Fire Sword and Knife, Gruggs, Legion Tactical Cutlery. And today we're going to shout out Pistol Pete. He's got great content, guys. He will show you a lot of cool knives. He will also take you out and show you how they work. And if something is bad, he will tell you it's bad. And really, isn't that what you come to YouTube to see a knife review for? To find out if it's good or bad? All of these guys will tell you it's good or it's bad. And they will show you why. Remember Blade Talk with Scab and Joe? They always have some good content, and they interview a lot of cool people. Take care until we see you again. Bye, fellas.